Welcome to the P2P by VeTest walkthrough. I'm Riz, and I'm going to show you real-world examples of how this platform actually works. I'm going to explain why this matters, what makes P2P by VeTest different, and then I'm going to show you how to use it. But first, this is how this video began. So this is the wanted ad that Marko posted on the VeTest website, asking for someone to create a documentary-style walkthrough of the VeTest platform. So before the tutorial even starts, we can see that P2P is being used for a real request. Someone posts a need, someone replies to that need, and then turns it into a service. So as you can see, this is a paid partnership. Marko offered me $50 plus a performance-based if people sign up using my name. But to be honest, I believe in what he built, and I probably would have done this for free anyway. But I am being compensated for this, so I want that relationship to be perfectly clear. This video is product education. It is not investment advice, price commentary, or promise of returns. So I'm going to leave this button alone for now, and when we reach Pro Services, I'm going to return to this exact request and show you what happens next. To understand why P2P by VeTest is different, we need a short history. If you'd like to skip this history and jump straight into tutorials, you can check out the video markers below. In 2008, Satoshi Nakamoto published the Bitcoin white paper, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. The Bitcoin network launched in 2009 and demonstrated that digital value can move from one person to another without a financial institution processing every payment. But Bitcoin's native system was built around Bitcoin itself. It was not a general framework for exchanging every type of asset. Now enter Reggie Middleton, who is a financial analyst publicly credited on CNBC, RT, and BBC for calling the collapse of Bear Stearns and Lehman Brothers months before the institutions failed. His work then moved toward applying peer-to-peer technology to the structural problems, costs, and gatekeepers he had observed in traditional markets. By 2013, Reggie was building Veritaseum. In early 2014, he developed what later became a family of global patents covering low trust and zero trust value transfers. The larger idea was to extend peer-to-peer exchange beyond one network's native currency, allowing parties to create and enforce broader value transfer agreements without depending on costly traditional intermediaries. Then, in 2017, Veritaseum introduced VeADIR, which stands for Veritaseum Autonomous Distributed Interactive Research. This was the world's first autonomous, smart contract-driven portfolio manager. Users and researchers could provide information and research, while autonomous economic agents were designed to evaluate those inputs and act on them according to defined rules. Now, this was a fully distributed platform, and that distinction between distributed and decentralized is important. A system can use blockchain but still depend heavily on one website, one cloud provider, and one server region. When a major cloud service such as AWS has an outage, many dependent applications can become inaccessible at the same time, even when the underlying blockchain itself continues operating. We saw this happen with Ethereum when AWS went down. Now, why am I telling you all this? Because P2P by VeTest is built using Veritaseum's IP, which distributes key functions across nodes, reducing dependency on any single operator or server as a sole point of failure. And this is the major difference between decentralized and distributed. As long as two nodes are able to talk to each other, the system will continue running. When VeADIR launched, Marko became beta tester number 1. He created the original VeTest YouTube channel to test the technology, document what he was learning, and translate Veritaseum's complex concepts into tutorials that ordinary users could understand. And this is where the VeTest name came from. He became a trusted source on how Veritaseum's VeADIR platform worked. Now, Marko was not approaching this as only a YouTube tester. His technical career spans more than 20 years across software development, system analysis, infrastructure, testing, integration, and complex enterprise delivery, including work at IBM and Sun Microsystems. That background becomes more relevant when you see how many systems VeTest is trying to connect. Wallets, marketplaces, products, services, subscriptions, payments, distributed nodes, and transaction workflows. Now in 2017, while Veritaseum was testing its products, it reached out to regulators seeking clarity. Instead of receiving a clear framework, the project became part of a wider period in which the SEC addressed blockchain questions through regulation by enforcement. 2 years later, in 2019, the SEC brought forth its case against Reggie Middleton and Veritaseum, and Marko served as a witness during that period. Marko's affidavit states that he was threatened during this time and lost access to his VeTest channel, an experience he describes as censorship. The original VeTest YouTube channel still exists, but he now publishes through a new channel called VeTest Uprising. The regulatory environment has since changed. The SEC itself has acknowledged that for several years, its crypto policy was communicated through enforcement actions rather than public rulemaking. The agency has now begun establishing clearer regulations. This gives legitimate builders a clearer framework for understanding the rules. Today, that history continues with P2P by VeTest incorporating Reggie's IP and licensing fees directly into the transactions. Now, rather than continuing with all this history and theory, let's jump into the platform and show you how it actually works. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is open up a Brave or a Chrome browser. Go to vetest.app. It'll take you to this page here, and on the bottom, do not have an account, create one here. Enter in your email address, and it'll auto-populate a username for you, but you can select anything you want. How did you hear about VeTest? If you go down here to Riz, I actually worked out a deal with Marko that this will give you a badge or an icon on your account. It'll show up under your name on the top right, and this will give you 10% off everything I offer on the platform forever. I'd also let Marko know that I sent you. And then you want to enter in a strong password. And then simply create account. Alright, once you've created your account, you're going to see this screen here. You're going to read the important notice, click the box, and acknowledge and continue. And this will take you into the VeTest app. And this is a little orange tag here that you're going to get if you select how did you hear from us, and you select Riz. And this will give you 10% off everything I offer on the platform. Next thing you're going to want to do is set up your wallet. So we're going to open up a new tab, and then either Brave or Chrome. In the top right here, you're going to see either 3 lines or 3 dots. Click this and it's going to open up a menu, and look for extensions. This is going to open up a little submenu with Manage Extensions or Visit Web Store. First, we're going to go to the store. Then we're going to look for MetaMask. Alright, metamask.io is the one that you're looking for, and you're going to click this, and it's going to take you to this page over here where you can install it. Okay, so once you're here, you're going to want to add it to Chrome. Brave recognizes Chrome extensions, so then just add extension, and it's going to populate your little fox icon in the little puzzle piece in the top right. I'm going to show you that in 1 second. And it's going to take you to this page here. So then what you want to do is agree to MetaMask terms of use, click this little box, and create a new wallet. Once you're here, create a password, something strong that you don't use anywhere else, and then understand that MetaMask cannot recover this password for you. Click Create a New Wallet. This will take you to a page to secure your wallet. I highly recommend doing this. This will take you to a seed phrase that you're going to want to write down. Make sure no one can see this, and write it down and save it in a safe place. Each one of the 12 words will have a number with it. Make sure you write down the number 2 because you're going to be tested on this next part. Click Next, and then look for the numbers that you're missing and add it to confirm your secret recovery phrase, and then confirm. And that's it. You've done it. You've successfully created your wallet. You've successfully protected your wallet. Keep your secret recovery phrase safe and secret. It's your responsibility. Remember, MetaMask can't recover your secret recovery phrase. MetaMask will never ask you for your secret recovery phrase, and never share your secret recovery phrase with anyone or risk your funds being stolen. And then confirm by clicking Got It. Your MetaMask install is complete. Click Next, and now you're in your wallet. Okay, so now that we've created our MetaMask wallet, we're going to connect it to the VeTest app. So to do that, we're going to go to the top right gear icon right here. This is your settings button. We're going to click that, and then look for the blue button, Connect MetaMask. Just below that, we're going to copy and paste our public address. You're going to find that on your MetaMask wallet in the top left, just up here. You're going to see 2 little boxes. That's your copy button. Ethereum address copied. Now I'm going to explain a couple things here. A lot of these tokens are all on the Ethereum blockchain. So these are ERC20 tokens, the VeRI token, USDC, this MetaMask USD. These are all ERC20 tokens that are on the Ethereum chain. Now we're going to be dealing with two networks for now. We've got the Ethereum network and the Base network. So Base is a layer 2 blockchain built on top of Ethereum. So it recognizes all of the ERC20 tokens from Ethereum on the Base chain. This allows you to interact with much cheaper gas fees. So you'll notice that your public address is going to stay the same. So it recognizes which chain your assets are on. This is now on the Base chain. We see that Veri and USDC are also on Base. And I have different values here compared to the Ethereum chain. So I also wanted to make it clear that these are actually different blockchains. So Bitcoin, Solana, and Tron, Polygon, these are all different chains from Ethereum. So this address here is not connected to any of these tokens. So just to be clear, do not send Tron or Solana or Bitcoin to an Ethereum address because you will lose it. So make sure you're dealing with the Ethereum chain specifically when dealing with Ethereum or Base. So now I'm going to select Base and keep us there. And now I'm going to go back like I did. I copied my address here. Now we're going to go back to the VeTest app and we're going to paste that address right here. And then once we paste it, we're going to connect wallet. And we're going to see wallet connected successfully. And you're going to see your wallet's connected up here with the little Base icon. Now, if you ever want to change that, if it says ETH here, you're going to want to click on it and you can actually change which chain it is, right? So now I've got Ethereum. If I close this, you'll see ETH here in the top. I'm going to click it back to Base so I can keep it on Base. And you see Base here. So now you have connected your MetaMask wallet to the VeTest app. Okay, now if you wanted to set up a Coinbase wallet or Coinbase wallet extension, you're going to have to be very careful because there's a lot of fakes out there. I'm going to show you that in 1 second. But the Coinbase wallet extension is actually for the legacy wallet. And then there's another path that you can take for mobile, which is creating a smart wallet. I'm not really sure how to connect the two yet, or if you even can. The legacy wallet uses a 12-word passphrase, very much like MetaMask. And the smart wallet actually uses your Apple ID or passkeys or biometrics. So first I'm going to show you how to do the Coinbase wallet extension. You need to be very careful. This Base loader is not our Base extension. These are not the Base wallet, Coinbase wallet. If you look for Base wallet on the Chrome Web Store, you'll see a couple other here. This is actually the logo for the Base wallet. So is this one. And this is a Coinbase logo. But these are actually not. So if you click on it, developer, whoever the hell this guy is, offered by. So that's not the Base wallet. So be very careful. This is not how you get the extension for the Base wallet. Again, this is not, whoever this guy is. So be very, very careful when connecting the Base extension. So to find the real Coinbase wallet extension, you want to do, actually what you can even do is just open up a new window in Brave here and do a search. Coinbase wallet extension. And we see it here. So this is what you're looking for. Coinbase wallet extension, wallet.coinbase.com. And just to confirm here, email address, Chrome extensions at coinbase.com. So this is the correct Coinbase wallet. I'm going to add this to Brave, add extension. And then what you're going to want to do is come up here to this little puzzle piece in your top toolbar. Click that and you'll see Coinbase wallet extension. And then you're just going to pin it and you're going to see that it's going to add it to your toolbar here. You can close it and then click this and it'll open up your wallet. And you'll see here, create new wallet, or I already have a wallet. So if you already have one, you can actually connect your ledger or import your 12-word recovery phrase here. Or you can just start a new wallet by create a new wallet. So this will take you to this page here. And what I like to do actually is disconnect from the internet. And then I'll look at these words, write them down in order on a piece of paper or somewhere and keep it safe offline so nobody can see it. And then what you want to do is click I understand. that if I lose my recovery phrase, I'll lose all my crypto in this wallet, and then I'll continue. And then again, just like MetaMask, you're gonna be tested to make sure that you have basically written down the 12-word seed phrase correctly by identifying the first and the 12th word. You're gonna pick them and then submit your answer, and that'll take you to the last step. I'm actually not gonna set this up right now, but that's how you do it. Now to connect your Coinbase wallet, you would do the exact same thing as your MetaMask wallet. You come here to the little wallet icon. Right is Bitcoin, left is Ethereum, and then you can choose which wallet you want. So Coinbase wallet, MetaMask, or your Brave wallet, and then connect. And then you'll see it's connected here. So the mobile functionality is limited, but honestly, I'm pretty amazed that it's even functional at this point because we're so early in the development of this platform. So kudos to Marko for even adding the mobile functionality. But yeah, so currently it's limited, but I anticipate more coming. But this is how you set up your mobile app. So first you're going to go to vetest.app on your phone, and you're going to see the screen here, and then you're going to open the mobile site. Then once you're in, at the very top, you're going to see Get the Base app. Click that, and it's going to take you to the App Store. And then you're going to see Base, formerly Coinbase Wallet. And then you're going to download that, and it's going to take you into your wallet. You can see I just created a new account here, and it'll actually give you the opportunity to name your account. You get one free name. So you can see here I actually named this one sovereignriz.base.eth, and I have no funds in here. So this is convenient because if you have 0 crypto, you can actually use your Coinbase account and connect it by clicking add funds and connecting your Coinbase account. And then you could buy crypto from Coinbase and fund your wallet. So some of the functions available on the mobile app are the creators platform, and this is what my creators page looks like. And if you scroll down to the bottom here, you can see my tiers, and you can subscribe to one of these and join the conversation here. And then we also have stores. Lisa's got a pretty extensive store with over 13,000 items, and you can browse through her catalog. I believe she updates this daily. And then we have music, or the VeJukeBox, and you can again listen to or buy, download videos and music from VeJukeBox. And then moving on to metals, we can actually purchase SmartMetal right on your phone. So this is loading up Quantum Metal Store, and again, you can just purchase this straight from your phone using crypto. And then we've got account, where you can sign in and edit your account. So more functionality to come, but this is what's currently available on the VeTest mobile app. Okay, next thing we're going to look at is how to navigate the platform as a user. So we see all these communities here on the right. We have all these options for all these rooms. And then at the top we have VeTest. This is a home button. So we can click this and it takes us back to the home page. This is support. So if you have any issues, you can actually click this button and it's going to actually take you to the Fresh Desk. You can browse articles, submit tickets. If you have issues with SmartMetal, you can actually come here as well. And then this is your settings button, which I showed you earlier, how to connect your MetaMask wallet. And then log in out right here. These are your wallets, Bitcoin and Ethereum for the time being. To connect that, you simply click, and then you can select which wallet you want to connect with. I'm going to connect with MetaMask just for the sake of a quick connection. Again, we see we're on base here. These are all the tabs that are associated with your account. This is the Riz tab I was talking about earlier. Lisa has one as well. And then we got our communities just below that. Since we're on the home page, we might as well start with SmartMetals first. So I'm going to show you how to interact with the SmartMetal store. So it's also on the home page, but it also does have its own tab here, SmartMetal Store, as well as a chat. And this chat here, I'm not sure if it's going to pop it up. It doesn't. But if you hover over it, a little message is going to show up saying that it's token gated community for SmartMetal NFT holders. And you actually need one NFT to enter the room. So if you click on it, it'll open up this tab, and you have to connect your wallet to be able to prove that you have one SmartMetal NFT to enter the chat. So I'm going to connect my wallet, and it verifies that I actually do have one NFT, and it'll allow me to join the room. So now I'm in and I can actually chat with other SmartMetal holders. But we can see that it's already populating with messages. This is Marko's last image here showing all the activations of SmartMetal rounds. We're currently approaching or just over 450 activated, 460 activations. So now going back to the store, if you'd like to order a SmartMetal, you can actually use crypto this way, or you can actually visit Quantum Metal's website and order it using fiat or your credit card. But just to show you how the process works, you would just click on this. It would open up this tab, give you information about the round, how many units are left, the cost, shipping. And if you want to place the order, you simply click the button, add how many you want, add your contact info, shipping info, special instructions, and a potential coupon code if you have one. This is your total, and you simply place your order, and then you'd run through an intent to pay for the order. So the beauty of this is actually when you fill this out, this is actually going to go straight into Jeremy or Quantum Metal's order flow. So it's going to take it out of inventory right away, and your information is going to get put into queue with whatever order is next, and it'll be picked and shipped straight from Quantum Metal's order flow. So this is actually kind of brilliantly well done. It's connected directly with Quantum Metal's web store. Whenever you set up your creator store, you can do something similar with your own store. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you guys is how to do an intent. To do this, I'm going to need a taker. So I actually hit up Marko and I'm going to meet him in the very chat, and we're going to show you guys how a video call works. So this is P2P video. Oh, Marko beat me to it. He's actually calling me. So I'm going to accept. And there's Marko now. How you doing, Marko?
I'm just going and closing all my extra apps that I'm not using just to free up everything.
Sounds good. So I'm about to show everybody here how to, or a walkthrough of the intent. So I'm going to ask you to be a taker on one of my intents. So what we're basically going to do is move over to the intent room, and I'm going to send him back a very on Ethereum chain, but he's going to send a USDC on base. So just so I have this right, deliver USDC on base is what I need to select, correct?
So yes, so is it giving you the cross-chain message?
So I just connected my wallet. It's saying because I'm on Ethereum currently, because that's the very I'm going to send you, because what we're doing is cross-chain here. So, and I want to accept the USDC on base. So I've selected base.
Yep.
I'm going to put in 0.5 Ethereum Veri. It's offering me 3.81 USDC. So, and I've selected deliver USDC on base. So this will be a cross-chain intent, and I'm going to broadcast the intent.
Okay. And I see it on my end, and I have an option to negotiate. And so when I negotiate, then it tells me the amounts negotiable in the private chat. So
now we've just opened up a private chat. So now we've got a disclaimer here, which you can read. And then we've got another card here, which welcomes the maker. So that's me. Welcome, Riz. Marko expressed interest in your very USDC intent and clicked the negotiate button. So here it's saying that my role is the maker. I created the intent. The original intent is 0.5 Veri, seeking 3.81 USDC, and this again is on base. The rate is right here. This settles cross-chain, Ethereum mainnet to base mainnet. And then it says copy and send this message to Marko in the chat below. So this long line right here between these two lines, I'm going to copy, and I'm simply going to paste that for Marko to review.
And what I see on my end, it says, hi, Marko. I'm proposing a swap. I'll offer a half a Veri on Ethereum mainnet in exchange for 3.81032 USDC on base mainnet. Does this work for you? And I will respond and say yes.
So this here, if he wanted to, he could hardball me and negotiate a better rate for himself. And then I could choose on whether I wanted to accept it or not. And now there's two paths. So on the right here, we've got proposed settlement. and this will open up this settlement, or I can actually just click his name or his answer here and go to create intent with Marko. So I'm going to do that, and it's going to open up this pop out. So now it says here intent settlement, create intent, and I'm the maker. Create new intent with Marko. This is the asset, and I can change it for him to review, but I'm going to leave everything the same because this is what we agreed on. And I'm going to propose the intent lock. So now this takes me to a new screen to review the intent, and I have 30 minutes to lock this intent with Marko. So I can review everything, 0.5 vary for 3.81 USDC, and we see the platform fees here. So this is Reggie's IP licensing fee. This breaks down all the claims that are being used of his patents, and we'll pay a small fee for using those claims. I am now going to sign the intent lock and kick it over to Marko. Just going to open up my MetaMask here and confirm. So now that it's processing.
Okay, I see the message says Riz proposed settlement terms. So we got progress happening. And now I see the sign intent lock on my side. And it tells me Riz signed the intent lock on your side. So I'll go ahead and click it and go through my approvals in my wallet.
Okay, I just see that Marko signed it, and now it's kicking over a new screen. So now this is the HTLC atomic value transfer. This is the settlement. So ready to lock. We see the funds that are being locked, 0.5 vary on Ethereum chain. Taker sends 3.81 on the base chain. This is the secret phrase. So it's going to ask me to copy this. This is going to allow Marko to see the HTLC contract that we're working with here. So now I'm going to lock my vary into this contract. And now it's going to ask me to approve the transaction and submit it to the HTLC contract. This is the programmable smart contract. And this is my confirmation. And you'll notice the funds have not left my wallet yet. So this is wallet to wallet transaction. Submitting it. There we go. So now you see that it's taken it out of my wallet, and now the 0.5 vary is locked in the contract.
And it gave me the message saying that, and it's giving me the opportunity to lock my USDC, which I will do now.
And now this contract, if it were to cancel for any reason, all these funds would revert back to each of us.
Correct. They automatically revert. If something happens, it will, as soon as the timer runs out, it will auto revert.
So now I see that Marko locked his funds, and now I'm going to confirm the transaction. And reveal the secret so now we can claim our funds. This is the secret here, and the reveal button. I'm just going to click on it, and now I'm able to claim the USDC.
And I see the secret was revealed. The message tells me, and I can claim the half a vary on my side, which I'm doing through my wallet.
Perfect. So now you'll note that the 0.5 vary has left the Ethereum chain, and now if I click on base, I see that I have received the USDC coin.
And on my side, I see the completed HTLC settlement pop up with all the, I can drop down all of the maker and taker IP fees and technology fees, etc.
And this is what he's talking about right here. So this is kind of a receipt, and is showing each one of the claims of Reggie's patents, and it breaks down the cost of each. So this is very low cost, but it actually shows you everything that comes with the platform fees instead of them being hidden on you.
And actually, in this case, since we went cross-chain, cross-chain is actually more expensive than same chain because we're utilizing more claims, we hit more primitives, and the fees on Ethereum are higher than they are on Base.
Sure.
So it's still very affordable.
And nothing compared to what bridging fees cost.
Correct. And that's a good point. You could use this same process between you and I. Say you wanted to bridge your Veri from Base to Ethereum chain or vice versa, you can do the exact same process. And for the same low fee, basically do a bridge. And that's because the platform handles all these coins and tokens independently. So you can go from any to any across all the three chains that we support between Bitcoin, Base, and Ethereum.
Very cool. And then now I can actually view the settlement in my intents. And just to be clear, here on the right in the toolbox, you see my intents here in blue, but I've already clicked on it. So this is the intent right here that we just worked on. And if I wanted to view it in more detail, I can open it up. And again, this is my receipt of that transaction. Excellent.
Nice. Good
yeah.
job. That's an intent. That's actually a beefy intent. That's a cross-chain intent.
Yeah, actually what I'd like to do is just go back to intents real quick and just show some of the coins here that are offered.
Yeah.
So we see here we got ETH, USD, Veri, we got BTC, some altcoins. We got CBBTC, which is Coinbase's BTC. And we even have USDT here, so Tether. Link, DAI. So we got some options here that you've added recently.
Pax Gold. Pax G is I think that's a gold token, if I recall right. Also, we actually have some meme coins too, Pepe and Sheeb. So trying to add a little bit of alternatives for everyone. And then just one other thing to point out on that little drop down is if you do have any of these tokens or coins in your wallet, it will show the value, the quantity that you have there off to the right of it.
Which I'm circling right now. Very cool. So while I got you on this P2P encrypted video call, this is built right into the P2P platform, the VeTest platform. So while I got you, is there anything else that you wanted to go over real quick that I may have overlooked or you may have just added?
Oh, just a little bit of comment on the intents in the future is as time allows, I'll continue to add additional assets on each chain. And the concept is now to start expanding the chains to beyond just Base and Ethereum and BTC to where we have Litecoin, for example, or Sol, or whatever the highest demand is, that's probably where we'll go next. So we've been kicking around some ideas on how to surface the right or the highest priority ones. And we have a couple methods to do that. One, just hit any of us up, Riz or myself or anyone connected to the project, and let us know what you want to see. On the platform, we have a feedback room in the communities there. You can go post inside of there. And what we've also set up in there are polls. So we can do polling from our moderators, can set up a poll that will list, maybe we can run a couple polls. One poll is what chain do you want to see next? And then which assets on the chains do you want to see next? So
very cool.
The intent, so to speak, of what I want to do is I reserve about half of my development budget to user-facing functionality like this. So out of any given week, I try to spend half of my time expanding the functionality, and the other half I'm working on the back end stuff people don't see, of cleaning databases and refactoring code and doing all that kind of stuff to support the app. So but the user-facing functionality, I want to implement, I want to prioritize what the user community on VeTest values the most. And for that, I need people's feedback. So welcome to, we'll field any feedback you send our way. And basically, we're just going to take the squeaky wheel will get the grease on this one. So I'll use that method for now until we fix the squeak, and then we'll go from there.
Very cool. Well, great job. Thank you for helping me with the intent walkthrough. And yeah, I guess I'll continue on with my tutorials, and I'll catch you later.
Okay. One last plug. If you have any premium roles, in other words, if you look up under your username in the top right corner, and if there's one or more little flags under your name, like moderator or Genesis or Pro or anything else, that will get you into the premium intent room for free. You can also get into that room if you have 100 Vari in your wallet or 3 SmartMetal NFTs. If you don't have any of those, you can still get in there with a small monthly subscription. The benefit of that is it has the built-in video right in there. Riz and I have a little workaround is how we got into it here, but there's video native in that room. There's also chat, which allows you to converse with other premium intent room members if you have, if you want to share a tip or whatever. And then another benefit, which is maybe the best benefit, is in a regular intent, it's the intent is a message that goes by. And if you're not in the intent room to catch it, if it's gone by before you join the room, you'll never get it. It's like a sound wave. It passes by. But what we do in the premium intent room is we catch that intent, that sound wave, and we keep it alive for another half hour, so that if you just stepped out to get a coffee or went to the washroom or whatever and came back, you didn't miss it. It's sitting there waiting for you, and you can go in and grab it from there. So just another benefit of the premium intent.
And that's what this card is right here. So these cards are all intents that were created in the intent room, but are held or brought over to the premium intent. And what you'll see is a little dot show up, and you'll hear a little chime whenever the intent pops up. So you can rush over to the premium intent room if you don't see it in intents, and you can try and scoop it from there.
Yep. Good tip. That's your pro tip for the day.
Very good, Marko. Great stuff. So there you go. That's an example of not only an intent, but one that's settled across chain. So 2 chains without any intermediary or any in between.
No bridging, no intermediary, no extra fees. It's a little bit more, but that's not due to the cross-chain nature. That's due to Ethereum costs a little more on that chain. That's
actually a good point I wanted to touch on. Everyone kept talking about why we use Base as the network. So we're not locked on Base. So as Reggie has mentioned, his technology is chain agnostic, meaning it can run on any chain. And Marko just basically proved that right here. So even though it's Ethereum to Base, which is a layer 2 Ethereum chain, you could also do the same intent with BTC and Ethereum as an example.
Correct. And in the future, maybe it'll never be unlimited chains, but it'll be a lot more as we go along. So send in your feedback, everybody. Let us know what you want to see next.
Great job, Marko.
All right. Thanks a lot, Riz.
Thank you. I'll catch you later.
You bet.
Okay, so the next thing we're going to look at is the P2P marketplace. So we're still in the early stages right now, but this will be kind of how you search for items. You just describe what you're looking for. Let's call it silver, and it's going to pop up where you get your silver rounds. Now we're still in the early stages, so Marko doesn't have this quite set up yet, but as the platform progresses and gets more populated, this will be how you search for your items. Now moving on, I guess we're going to start with creators, because this is kind of the overarching or umbrella to how people set up their stores or their subscription tiers and offer stuff on the platform. But as a user, you can actually go through and set up your own store, or actually look through creators and subscribe to some tiers. So as an example, I've got some tiers here. This one is a free tier that you can join. This is a music tier and just a tip, buy me a coffee kind of tier. So I'll show you how to set up your own creators page in a second, but first I'm going to continue on as a user and show you how to subscribe to a creators page. So going back to creators, I think Irish Veteran. Yes. Okay. So this one here, I was subscribed to it. It has expired. So now I can resubscribe. So this shows you all the information about the tier, how much it costs. It's $1 a month. Payment currency, I'll use USDC. You can actually have a tip here. You can choose none if you want. You can actually see that it changes the cost right here. So I'll leave it at, actually I'll tip Marko 10%. Here we go. And this will create a NFT that'll allow me into this room. So I'll subscribe now. Now it's confirming the platform fee with my wallet. And if you see up here, MetaMask is giving me a message. So now it's telling me it's going to cost me 41 cents to approve this transaction. So I'm going to confirm it. Transaction has been confirmed. And now my $1 to pay for the subscription. Transaction submitted. And now I am subscribed to Irish Veterans Very Irish Community. And now I can actually join and talk. All right. You'll notice here on the left that there's topics. So each one of these opens up a different chat. So these are articles that he's written. And then I can add or chat to any one of these articles. Or go back to general for the main room. You can actually add emojis just like Telegram. Throw a heart on there. Yeah. Now there's other functions here that you could also enter as a user. So we have VeTest chat. This one here is gated by 1 Veri token required. Again, here, this is going to test your wallet to make sure that you actually have a Veri token in your wallet. This is a no gas transaction, so it's just going to actually allow me to connect my wallet. It's proving that I actually do have a Veri token in my wallet, and I can sign and join the room. I actually have to go to my wallet, I guess, to sign and confirm. So now I'm in the Veri chat room. Look at some screenshots, enter a message. I can add an attachment if I wanted to. And just like Telegram, you can add emojis. You could download. Yeah, so that is how you join one of the chat rooms. One last thing about the token gated rooms. So now that I've proven that I've had the tokens to enter this room, it shows here in the very top how much time I have remaining in this room before I have to prove again that I have those tokens in my wallet. Okay, so now going back to creators. If you wanted to create your own creators page, create your page, edit profile. You can create your handle, your display name, add your bio, add your avatar, your banner image, your social links, and then you would save changes, and this would populate your page. Then if you wanted to create yourself a tier, you can see that I have 3 tiers here. This is my open signal tier, which is free, my music tier, and my tip or buy me a coffee tier. So I'll show you how to create your own tier. So this tier name, so I'm going to call this one Verified Back Room. My token symbol will be Riz Verified. My description, I have this already done, so I'm going to just copy and paste here. The benefits will be these. So this will give you early access behind the scenes of the documentary videos. So I'll be doing interviews with people as I build out the documentary for Veritaseum and the Very community. Production notes and research updates, early access to select clips, member community chat, source and timeline discussion threads. We're not quite there yet. I don't know if Marko can actually include other tiers in tiers, so I'm going to take this off for now. And then a tier image. If I were to click this, so these images here will actually be the NFT that you get. I think I like this one better. Open. So that'll create an NFT image of that as you subscribe to the tier. Payment will be $10 a month, max supply, call it $999. Okay, and then payment currency to actually set up the tier. So I'll use ETH for this. I'll give Marko a 10% tip. Video URL. So I can actually go over to YouTube and pick a video that I want to enter as my URL. This is a good one here. I'll pick this one. So I'll add my link here. Audio if I wanted it. Tier features. So I want chat, topic threads. I can add cell music, sure. Requires terms of service. Videos can view tier video content. One-on-one, I'm going to take that off. Audio and moderation. So these are all the features that'll be included in this tier. NFT token gated optional. You can actually edit this later if you wanted. You can actually add a contact address. So again, as you create these tiers, users will mint an NFT as they subscribe to your channel. So let's say the open signal tier. I can actually force people to subscribe to my free tier before they subscribe to this tier if I wanted to. I'm going to turn this off for now. And then I'm actually going to create this tier. So it's creating it, and you need to actually sign the transaction. It's going to cost me this much, and I'm going to confirm it. So now I've created that tier. You can see it here now. Now if I wanted to edit it, you can click this button here. And I can go through and edit any of the notes. I can even add the token gating if I wanted to. So that is how you create your own tier and create your creators page. So another function on the creators page is subscribers. So you can actually look at who is subscribed to your platform, how much your revenue is for the month, who's expiring. So you can actually reach out to them through email and let them know that this is expiring, and maybe you can offer them a little something to bring them back. So yeah, these are the active tiers that I have subscribers on, and you can see the new tier is not here yet because I don't have any active subscribers yet. And then another function is the store. So as I showed you Lisa's store, if I wanted to add an item, I can add it here. If I wanted to add an existing item, like I have a pro service, which I'm going to show you in a second, I can actually add that here. So I'm going to add it. So now this is added to my store. And because I've already created it, this is a no cost to add it to my store. Now, if I actually wanted to add a physical item or an item to my store, I can add it here. So the item name, let's call it a DVD because I don't actually have a physical item just yet to add. Call it 10 bucks. The type. So these are the different things that you can add to your store. So if it was a digital, like a song, for instance, external, maybe like a service, physical merch, I guess a DVD would be physical. Inventory, there would only be one. shipping size. So this information would be for the USPS to add the rates directly into the product. So let's call it 1 pound. I would add the size of the box that I would expect this to be in, and it would calculate the shipping rates for you. And then you would add your description of the product and then your images here. And then you continue with creating this for free. And then this would be added to your store. Again, just like Lisa had all her items added to her store. And at the top here, I guess this would be shipping from your location. So you'd add in your zip code, your state, the handling fee. This would be in addition to the shipping costs that would be calculated through the shipping size here. And then it would show you here. I guess you would hide immediately after you sell it, so nobody else can buy it on you. And then you simply save it and continue and create this item for free. And that's how you add products to your store. One of the things I forgot to mention is you can actually import your products through a CSV file by using this import right here. Just drop your CSV file in here and it'll populate your store. And now that you've created your room, you can come over here and view it. So beside edit profile, we have this little blue button, view my room. And this will be how you interact with your subscribers. So these are your tiers on the left here. You can actually minimize it if you want to make it less busy. If you have a lot of tiers, it's going to push everything down. So you can hide it. Open Signal is my free tier. You can watch all these videos. This is my latest video here. And past live streams are my older videos. You can go and watch any one of those. Or you can add them. And how you add them is edit video URL right here. You'll add your link here, click save, and it'll be the latest video right here. And then it'll push this one down into this, and then you can rename it whatever you want, the title of the video, so other people can find it. So yeah, so that's how you add video content to your pages. And again, you got your chat room here. This is telling you what room you're chatting in, Open Signal. If I were to change to the music room, I got my jukebox down here. This is my latest music video, some of the other videos here. Right, SmartMetal video. I'll hide that. This is the chat for music. And my topics here on the left. And verified backroom. This is that new room I just created. And this is the video I added to that room. So that's how you interact with your subscribers and view your room. Down here is the VeJukeBox, and this is how you add tracks to the VeJukeBox. You simply add track. So you would add the title here, and I actually have a bit of a remix here, so I'll add this. It's more of a B-side if I'm being honest, but okay, so we declare remix. Artist, that's myself, Riz. Genre, I guess probably more folk. Album, call it Sovereign Sounds. Lyrics here, I can add the lyrics. All right, and then I would paste my lyrics in here. Choose audio. I'll go to my songs. I guess it would have to be this one. And then choose cover art. That's what I want. Okay, streaming any music to your subscriber, or I could choose one of the tier rooms that I've created. I'm going to choose all of them. Show this in the jukebox feed. Sell this as a track for $1. Anyone can buy it, or subscribers only. So I'm going to keep it on anyone can buy. And then I own and have the rights to distribute this recording and its cover art, and I agree to the VeTest terms. Uploading content you don't own may be removed and can result in a ban. And then I can upload the track. So now it's uploading the audio and the thumbnail. So you can see cover art, saving track, and now we have our new song right here. Now if I wanted to edit this, I have a little edit pencil button up here in the top right of every video or song. So I can just click on that and just review everything, make sure everything's good. And if I wanted to, I could actually delete it again here. I'm going to save changes. I'll leave this up for now. Yeah. All right, so one of the last functions I'd like to show you guys is Pro Services. So in the Communities tab over here on the right, click Pro Services, and it would take you to the Pro Services page. Now, again, we're still in the early stages, but this is a service that I've offered, Fractional Marketing Director. This is all the about this service information, what I offer, the pricing, a resume here, and you can actually, well, I can't because I've created the service, but you could actually purchase it here if you wanted to. In my case, I can actually edit it. So I'm going to close this. I'll show you Marko's here. So this is an example. I can actually purchase this service. He's only got 1 hour remaining, so I'm actually not going to purchase it on him. I'll ask somebody else to do that. But if I wanted to purchase it, I would simply purchase. And just like any other purchase on the platform, it would walk me through a wallet purchase here using crypto. This would be the cost of the transaction, and this would be the cost of the service. And I would just hit confirm purchase and walk through the transaction. So if I wanted to create my own service or post a request, let's say if I wanted somebody to help me with something, like Marko did for this video, he created a request and asked if somebody could help him with creating a video. You can see here that I've responded to it, and there's a little button here, turn this into a service offer. So I'm going to click this, and it's going to take me into this new window, create service offer, no listing fee. Because Marko already listed this as a wanted ad, and I'm simply responding and turning this into my own service.
Right. In other words, I paid the fee to create that service because I'm the one that desired it.
Understood. Okay, so we're starting off here with the offer details. We see 2 other steps here, credentials and confirmation. And then just below that, we see you're responding to this wanted ad, which is a documentary style VeTest walkthrough, which is pre-recorded, and it's a paid creator campaign. We've got our budget here of $275, base $50 plus performance bonus. And then we got all the details here of the documentary style ad or VeTest walkthrough. We got the deadline, and we've got the requested milestones pre-filled below, adjust as needed. So we see here that it's milestone based. We got publish the core deliverable pre-recorded video, and this will release the $50 milestone. That'll be the first milestone. Performance tier number 1, first 10 users, which is $50. And then we have performance tier number 2. So second 10 users. So once we hit 20 users that have been onboarded successfully through this walkthrough campaign, we'll release the next milestone, which is $75. And then we have performance tier number 3, which is the last milestone, and that's the last 10 users. So if I am able to onboard 30 total users throughout this campaign, then I'll be rewarded with the last milestone of $100.
For $275 total.
Correct.
And technically, the way that works, when I purchase that, I fund each of those milestones independently. So I put $50 in the first one, right, all the way down through. And what that allows is, as you go through and deliver pieces of that, each one can be marked as complete and accepted by the purchaser, the buyer, me, and that will release the payment for that milestone. There's also a dispute process in there if there's a disagreement between the buyer and seller as to, whatever happened. So we'll have a dispute process there.
Meaning, like, if I delivered a half video, it's not fully complete, then you could dispute the fact that, yes, I did deliver it, but it is not actually
you
complete.
didn't meet the requirements of what we said,
right.
And you think you did, and so we have to go through some kind of dispute process to mediate that. Then the other thing that can happen is, say the professional, something happened and you're unable to fulfill the remainder of the contract. Well, there's a cancellation on there. you can go through, and when you cancel, it can't undo what was already delivered and paid for, but all the future ones it would refund and cancel the remainder of the milestones.
Gotcha. Okay, so moving on here, we have a service name. So this is the same as the wanted ad. Documentary style VeTest walkthrough, pre-recorded, paid creator campaign, and then we have the description here below. And I'm going to keep everything the same. Who can buy this?
In this instance, it's for me.
Correct.
Specifically. You could create one that was open to anybody too, and continue, right, taking new business opportunities on the other ones too.
So for this one, then I would put only specific accounts, allow list.
You can put just Marko in there, and it'll just direct it to me. That's how I directed it to you. I just put Riz in there, and that way it guaranteed you're the only one that could answer it. Because in the beginning, I wanted this one to be just you. Later on, I may want to open it up to let any marketing pro answer to it. But for this case, I wanted you to.
Okay, so this will remain a marketing category, and it'll remain milestone based. And these are the milestones that Marko has created. So we've got a total project value of $275. I've got number of milestones 4. So the first milestone is publish the core deliverable. This is the pre-recorded video. The agreed content is published and goes live in your channel. The amount is $50. The bucket type is service fee, refundable until earned. Milestone number 2 is the first performance tier. This is the first 10 users. First metric target hit, and this is $50. And again, the bucket type is service fee, refundable until earned. Description for milestone 3 is performance tier number 2. This is the second tier users, or a total of 20 users during this campaign time. And this is the second metric hit or target hit. And this is $75. And bucket type is, again, service fee, refundable until earned. And then the last milestone is milestone 4. Performance tier number 3, and this is capped. Third 10 users, this is 30 plus during the course of the campaign, and this is the final metric target hit, and this total is $100. Service fee, refundable until earned. That is the total capped at $275. Delivery method is remote, and this could be on-site or hybrid, but remote obviously is what we'll need here. Estimated delivery time, I'm going to leave that open for now because we've already discussed that above. And same with availability notes. This has already been discussed. So I'm going to leave all these blank, and I'm simply going to hit next and go to the credentials. Now, this is where you can upload a resume, a portfolio. You got a few different options here: certificate, insurance proof, or other documents, professional license, whatnot. And I'm not going to upload any credentials for this because Marko actually reached out to me, and I responded to him directly. So now I'm going to move to create service offer. Okay, so now it's created the service offer attached. Your offer, documentary style VeTest walkthrough, pre-recorded, attached to your response. The buyer can now accept and pay into escrow. So I assume this allows you now to interact with this contract and fulfill your side of it.
Correct. It opened a new, when I opened that wanted, and it added a new section on the bottom. It says service offer, and it describes it: the documentary style VeTest walkthrough, pre-recorded, paid creator campaign, $275 with 4 milestones. And it gives me 3 options: accept and pay, request changes. So if I saw something in there that needed a little revision, I could hit that and it'd come back to you, and you could update it and resend it back. Or decline is the third one. So I'm going to accept and pay. And that brings me to a pop-up screen called deposit funds to escrow. And so now I'm going to prepare my hardware wallet, my Trezor, because I'm going to have to deposit into each of these milestones. And so I'll start that now.
So this would simply be an intent that very similar to what we've already walked through, where we're actually funding the HTLC contract.
Yes.
And you're going to do this 4 times, once for each milestone?
Actually, there'll be 5, because once for the platform fees, the IP fee and the technology, and then for each of the milestones.
Understood.
But I need to go in and get into my correct wallet here. And it's doing its deposit here.
So you're funding the last milestone contract?
Yes. Milestone 4, 11.6686 vary. And it says it's done, and it marked it as filled. So now when I look at the professional services marketplace, that wanted item is gone. And where did it go? It went in, since I purchased it and you sold it, now it's either in my sales or my purchases in the tools box. So, and you should see the documentary style VeTest walkthrough in there.
I do.
And when you click it and open that one item up, you'll see the metadata around it, including the on-chain transactions, and then the button to take action on it.
It says manage and deliver order.
That's the one you want.
Okay, so I've opened this up and it's giving me the title again of the service. Marko is the client. Purchase details right here, and then the settlement receipt, and then it's showing the project progress. And because I haven't finished the first step yet, we are still our completion hasn't started yet, basically. Essentially, I've got 4 cards or 5 cards. The first one is project progress. So this is basically the umbrella card, and it has a little completion bar that'll show me my
progress, how many deliverables are done so far.
Correct. And then it shows the total contract value and the total earned, which is currently 0. Milestone deliverables. Define specific deliverables for each milestone before starting work. And then I have a button here that says proposed deliverables. So I'm going to click
down below that, that button is if you want to add an additional, propose an additional, but we've got them defined down below there, right?
Okay. And then yes, below that I've got milestone 1. And this is the $50 for the first 10 subscribers. And then I have start work as my button. And I have blockchain transactions and show details.
So you can actually start work on that one because you have started work.
Okay.
That one, that first milestone is the video, right? So you actually started on the video within the last week. So that's already well in progress.
Okay, so I've clicked start work, and now it's giving me a notification in my MetaMask wallet. Confirm transaction.
Yep.
Transaction confirmed.
Okay.
Okay, so now it's updating milestone 1, and it's waiting for me to submit deliverables.
Okay. And I can come in and look at mine. And when I look at it, the spinner is going on milestone 1, and it says, the on-chain says it's in progress. So I can tell by that you've started work on it. And basically now I'm just waiting for the first deliverable.
I see.
And so the first deliverable would be, in this instance, when you publish the video, you're done, right? That's milestone 1, is you publish the core deliverable, the pre-recorded video. The proof of that is the URL or the link. So when you deliver that milestone, you can just paste that URL. There's a box for it on there. You can probably bring that up.
Yes, so I've opened that up and I see the link here, or I could actually paste the full video and
Okay.
upload the video as a raw file.
You could paste, if the deliverable was a document or a file of some type, you could do that, or just the words. Maybe it's, you know, a written paragraph is the deliverable or something. You could paste that in as well. So a few different options. When it's the URL, it's pretty slick on my side. It brings it up. It says, just go review it. Boom, I hit the button. I go watch the video. Yep, he's good. I come back and I hit approve. And as soon as I hit approve, then it releases that payment out to you, and that marks the first milestone is complete.
I see. So to kick that process off, after clicking the link here, I would just submit it for review, and that's when you would go into
That'd
action.
be all in my court. And if you didn't hear anything back after a while, there's an option down on the bottom to contact the person. You could reach out and contact me and say, hey, have you seen the video? You know, you want to get paid, right? You can. So if the dude's sitting on it, you could kind of prompt them a little. Review my video because I want to get paid, bro.
Okay, so and then milestone 2 and 3 and 4, these are the
You could actually I would argue you've already started on that as well. You've started working on acquiring your first 10 users. So to me, that one started at the same time as milestone 1 or shortly thereafter.
I see. Okay, so I'll start work on that one as well.
Now this is the part later on. I can enhance this to have the code automatically monitor the users, and when the count hit 10 that were, you know, came in through Riz, then it would automatically do it. That part isn't automated yet. That part is, I'm providing you and Lisa as the marketing pros a daily report that shows your progress. As soon as your progress hits the first one, you want to get paid. So you're going to be submitting that milestone automatically, you know, on your own anyway. It won't be automated through the system. It'll be automated by Riz pushing the button. So that part is really nice. It's slick. And using the milestone approach, you could tailor this to almost any project or product or service that you could think of.
And then again, we see here each transaction has its own details, right? So if I want to see the escrow deposit for milestone 1, it's right here.
Yep.
Milestone 2 is right here, and so on.
Yep.
So we can see that the buyer has already funded the contract.
Yes.
And even just below the payment, you can actually see here $50, and then I've got 5.8343 Veri, which has been escrowed into that account.
Yep. Yep. And even beyond that, above it, you can see the platform fees broken down just like we have in every other product. You can actually go expand that and look at what claims you used and how much you paid for them, how much you paid Reggie for the claims, his claims that we used filling out this contract and going through it.
Well, thank you very much, Marko. This is brilliant. Yeah, I guess now all I have to do is just finish the work and onboard 30 verified signups.
Deliver, right? And as each block of 10 finishes, come in and submit that deliverable, and I'll approve it, and you'll get that next incentive payment. So the next one, you'll get another 50. As soon as you've already started getting your 10, so you're already into your 10. When you hit 10, then, you know, that's the next 50.
So verified sign up would be when somebody signs up to the platform and they say, how did you hear about VeTest? And they click the Riz button.
That's exactly how you get it. There are other users on the platform that already have Riz that you've already interacted with that wouldn't count because it wasn't a new sign up. And they didn't answer that question. They had the Riz role, but they didn't answer that question. So It's literally keyed off of that question. If they say Riz, then that counts them. If they say Riz and it's in the time, the start to end window, then it counts for you.
Understood.
Yeah.
VeTest is you've actually perfected the intent flow, and now you're building products and services on top of that intent flow. And this is where, we're going to be expanding all kinds of different options and opportunities using those intent flows to build out things like pro services, creator subscription tiers, products, all these different opportunities. Again, that's built on these intents and Reggie's patents.
Right. That intent flow is the core of everything. That's the core of Reggie's Contra protocol, the process that I've coded all of this to. And what we do is when a new product or product line comes in, we map it to that process and see which parts fit. And those are the parts that we're going to use. Those are the parts that the client will pay for, and wrap it up into a product. And so basically we have kind of a template now for every new product line that comes. We kind of have a model to work off. Each product line is unique and each one will use different primitives, but the process is kind of there. And so we can add products fairly quickly. And if you remember, one of the newer products we put on is the VeJukeBox. I did that entire project end to end in less than a sprint. It was just a handful of days to get that in, at least the first pass of it. Why? Because I had 80% of the building blocks already in place. Mm-hmm. And I just needed to add a little bit more. The front end piece is all I had to add. So,
well, great job, Marko. This is brilliant stuff.
I appreciate that. And it shows the power and the richness of Reggie's patents, how much you can do with them. Mm-hmm. And we're building basically strictly off of Reggie's patents here.
A true P2P economy, literally.
Yeah, it is. And that's a good comment, because that's what we're building, is a VeTest economy in here, right? You and I and Lisa, we've already, this is a little mini economy already starting. I had a need and you guys are fulfilling the need, and there will be compensation at the end, and, hopefully some follow-on engagements as well. So, and now that, that wanted process, like we said, you've used it. It could be used in a lot of different examples, right? If you wanted to, it's not totally built for that, but you could contract with a home builder and build a home off of the thing with the milestones in there, mm-hmm. if you wanted, and track that. So
sure,
a lot of power and flexibility, and certainly, it'll need some more tweaking and fine tuning, but that's where users like you guys come in, right? Give me the feedback and I'll be happy to build it in.
This is really great, Marko. I think we've covered everything. I appreciate your time and help me wrap up this video, as well as giving me the opportunity to participate in, this new peer-to-peer economy. I'm excited to see a lot of other people join us here. And as we build out more, you're going to see more action in some of these chat rooms, like the SmartMetal room, for instance, and how we can leverage some of our NFTs, and the integration into VE agents, and how agents can be plugged into VeTest and used here to help some of the intent flows. And again, I thank you for creating all this and allowing the community to participate.
Thanks much. It's exciting stuff, and looking forward to getting everyone else on board too. Thanks much, Riz.
So that's going to wrap up our P2P by VeTest walkthrough. Thank you for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you on the platform.